Welcome to our Bali series, where we discuss our thoughts and experience of our journey to this magical island of the gods. Greetings, this is Minding My Way. In this segment, we will highlight some things that may help you with your trip and some things that we discovered through experience. We made our journey from Cochin International Airport through Kuala Lumpur. We also had an option to transit through Singapore. Since the transit time was a bit better, we chose Kuala Lumpur. We'll include our transit experience in Kuala Lumpur International Airport in detail in a future segment. In this segment, we will discuss some prerequisites for the journey and some things you can expect when you arrive. We had installed Indonesian government's health monitoring app, Peduli Lindungi, before we boarded the plane. Only one of the passengers needs to install the app, as it lets you add your fellow passengers as dependents. As of October 2022, the app has an issue with it where you will not find Covishield as one of the viable selections you can make under the vaccine type. This was not an issue with us as we both had our vaccine certificates. A mandatory requirement to make entry is to have a valid travel health insurance with a cover of at least $25,000. After extensive research, we ended up going with Care Health insurance plan called Explore. For 10 days travel, it just cost us 814 rupees including taxes with individual cover of up to $50,000 each. This covered a lot more than just health emergencies, and for the cost, it felt like the best offer at the time. Please do your own research before choosing a viable plan for your next trip. After arriving, the first step is to head over to the government health desk, where they will ask you for your passport and your vaccine certificates. They were not really keen on whether we have Peduli Lindungi app installed in our phone. I imagine this was something they insisted at the height of the pandemic. The vaccination certificates was mandatory and it needs to be attached to your passport number. And the name on the certificate should reflect the name on your passport. You can get this certificate from your local, municipal or panchayat office, or like we did, through the CoWIN portal. Please be careful while entering your passport number on here, as there are no do-overs for this. Also, you can put in a request to correct your name to reflect your full name as per your passport. You do not need to have your last name first, as long as it reflects the correct name. From here, we went to Customs and Immigration, where you can present your passport. Unlike earlier, Indians no longer have an exception on fees on visa on arrival. The visa is valid for 30 days and it costs $35 per passenger. It's best if you convert some money upfront from back home from a trusted currency exchange. Convert a little bit extra to dollars in case you want to keep cash as backup on hand. There is no need for any currency conversion to IDR from back home. For all other payment purposes, it would be best to take a Forex card. There are many Neo banking cards that are available like FI and Neo Global, which are mostly free of charges. We chose Neo Global as it is aimed more at foreign travel. We'll discuss the card, expenses incurred and the best practices in keeping costs low in future segments. After the health clearance and customs, you can proceed to the customs declaration desk, which usually has quite a crowd. Lots of people filling out declaration forms in that section. It would be best to use e-declaration portal by visiting the website on the boards as listed. Once you fill in the declaration, it will generate a QR code which allows you to pass through a separate line, which would make the exit much faster. After clearance, our next step was to purchase a local travel SIM card. We chose the stall that's immediately near the exit for the Indonesian carrier Telkomsel. 10 GB was the lowest data plan that they offer for 7 days, but for our use, it was best to take a SIM card with 25 GB for 30 days. It cost us 350k IDR, which is about 1800 rupees, which is a bit steep, but the data speed was excellent and the network coverage was really good. You can typically find better deals outside the airport, but I have read a lot about official looking vendors scamming people with less than promised balance of data in their SIM. The SIM activated immediately, and the first thing we did was to install and register on GoCheck and Grab. Both are like Uber and Swiggy combined. From my personal experience, GoCheck seemed like a cheaper option with a lot more offers, so we predominantly made use of this app. We had done extensive research on Bali through books, vlogs and travelogues, surveying the maps and routes, so we had a well thought out itinerary. We don't prefer pre-planned tour packages that rush through a list of tourist spots. We like to make our own path. Through our research, we had learned about this gem of a place called Nasi Tekor. This was one of the very first places we visited in Bali. I must say, good food is the key to our heart, and this was one of the best beginnings of our Bali adventure. Visiting Nasi Tekor had always been a dream since the inception of this much awaited travel. It was a lovely coincidence that it was located right on our way to Ubud. We reached Bali right around lunchtime and directly went from Denpasar to Kesaman Kertalangu Cultural Village to reach Nasi Tekor, which is about 10.3 kilometers from Gurara International Airport. One thing you'll notice immediately on the roads is the lack of public transport. Instead, there is an excess of scooters and mopeds and SUVs, all looking brand new and tinted to the nines. In this regard, traffic does exist. It isn't as chaotic as we experience in our own country. Everyone abides by traffic laws and shows extreme patience for their turn. The streets are extremely clean, architecture and landscape fine-tuned to an art form, all around friendly, happy faces. We took the most scenic route on our way. Few months back, we had a chance to travel the Bandra-Worli ceiling in Mumbai, which was an amazing feat of engineering. The Bali Mandara ceiling was even better. This was one of the few times we saw open roads within the city. According to our GoCheck driver, the city was a lot more crowded than usual due to the G20 World Summit. The sea bridge is 12.7 kilometers long and was built taking into consideration the local norms and traditions. They even planted 16,000 mangrove trees to minimize the impact of construction. Bali has successfully maintained that balance between tourism and preservation of culture. If anything, all that revenue that tourism creates only strengthens their cultural identity. They do this so successfully because of some visionaries that structured the master plan of tourism early on and implemented from the 70s as a policy. They've had time to refine their approach to tourism and the celebration of their culture and craftsmanship as part of it. I wonder, with such a rich culture of our own, why we are lacking in this aspect. The best time to visit Bali is between April and October. June and August are especially nice and windy. It's time for the annual kite festival, which adds charm to this island paradise. We chose to travel in the month of October when the rains were just about to start. Or so we thought. We were hoping to reach there before the rains were in full swing. We would recommend anyone planning to make this travel to consider the hassle of trying to work out your travel plans in the rain. It isn't much of a bother when you're near the coast, but it definitely makes it difficult to travel in the interior parts. Those who are planning to visit Ubud and nearby waterfalls need to be mindful of these conditions. Rain is enjoyable in such beautiful landscape, but you should try renting a bike or a scooter to really appreciate the clean, picturesque scenery, and rains don't go well with winding inclined roads you find here. Bali, that we conceive from our research, the books that we read, the videos that we watch, and that one famous Hollywood movie. They all have saturated our minds with images and ideas of landscape and culture. They invoke a certain familiarity in our cognition, and we were ecstatic that our expectations matched reality so harmoniously. Everything had a blissful familiarity to us as we were recalling our mental map of this landscape. We will continue our travel diary in future segments and give you more details on how you can plan your ideal trip to Bali. We hope you could connect with our concepts and follow us for more interesting videos. Please do consider subscribing to our channel and share it with others so we can keep showcasing our travel ideologies and concepts and help us reach a wider audience. Kind regards, Minding My Way.